Hi Big Tractor Power fans, this video comes to you from Western Kentucky, where a 775 horsepower Case IH AF10 Axial-Flow combine equipped with a 567 bushel grain tank and outfitted with special Case IH USA 250 decals is harvesting winter wheat with a 45-foot wide Case IH McDon FD245 Plus Draper Head. In this presentation, I would like to share with you the combine's production history, specifications, and list price tag, as well as taking viewers for a ride in the cab of the combine to visit with a salesman from my local Case IH dealer, H&R AgriPower, to talk about all the functions of this big combine. But first, let's head out to the field so that you can see and hear all this harvesting action. The Case IH AF10 Axial-Flow combine was introduced in August of 2024 and remains a current product in 2026. It is manufactured in Grand Island, Nebraska. The combine is powered by a 15.9 liter, 970 cubic inch Case IH FPT C16 Stage 5 engine, rated at 775 horsepower. It is equipped with a 396-gallon diesel fuel tank and a 43-gallon diesel exhaust fluid tank for clean engine solutions. This machine features a hydrostatic transmission. The AF10 has a 57-inch wide feeder house, which is well equipped to handle large amounts of crop material coming in from headers from 30 to 61 feet wide. Threshing is completed by an AFX XL 30-inch diameter, 144.5-inch long axle-style rotor. The total cleaning area in the combine is 13,578 square inches. This combine can be ordered with two different sized grain tanks. The first option is 567 bushels that unloads at 6 bushels per second. The second option is a 455 bushel tank that unloads at 4.5 bushels per second. The grain tank empties through a 37-foot, 8-inch long unloading auger. The combine weighs in at 50,757 pounds. For model year 2026, a Case IH AF10 Axial-Flow combine has a base list price of $1,100,000. This AF10 Axial-Flow is harvesting winter wheat with a 45-foot wide Case IH McDon FD245 Plus Draper Head. During the cab ride-along portion of this video, I'll talk with a salesman about what plus means for this 45-foot header. The FD245 Plus has a price tag of $190,000 for model year 2026. I'm up in the cab of a Case IH AF10 Axial-Flow combine. This is the largest single rotor produced by a Case IH, and it's an impressive machine. I'm here with Darren Hunt from H&R AgriPower, and you are our Axial-Flow expert. It's great to see this big combine in action.
Hey Jason, thanks for coming out today. Glad you got to get up in the cab with us and see this awesome machine at work. relatively new machine for us. It's a completely different system than what we're used to on our flagship 260 series machines. Different way of operation, a few different parts in there, a few different ways to make the crop go through the combine. So thankful to Joe Seeley and his guys for letting us come out here and demonstrate this machine against the X9s today. And hopefully, as you can see, we're having pretty good results.
Well, the big thing I noticed, and we can kind of look out the window here real quick and see those X9s rolling across the field, and they're an impressive combine. But what I noticed is we're in a very long field, and you're kind of running from one end to the other before you fill the bin, and that has to be pretty handy.
You know, we are, yeah. And sometimes, you know, when people think that's, well, maybe the crop isn't any good. Well, the crop is really, really good today. High yielding wheat here, like we just talked about. 567 bushel grain bin capacity in this AF10 machine. Definitely helps you make it further and get more material in the combine before we have to dump. But no matter how much capacity or how much horsepower we've got, we always want more.
Well, we're looking at 100 plus bushel wheat, which means there's a lot of residue. What can you tell me about the spreading of the residue from this combine?
So I will say we made some changes. We can still order from the factory the spreading system that we have on our flagship combines, but obviously when we make a change and introduce a new product line, we want to try to adapt with the Farming Precision Technology platform. Take you over to this run screen on one of our 7 run screens on the Pro 1200 display in this AF10 combine. We can see we've got 3 different types of spread options on here: GPS, manual, or what we call auto. So the auto, it's actually working off a radar. It's actually compensating for a couple of different things, wind direction and things like that, because it's pretty pivotal here in western Kentucky, because we actually have planters in the field here with us right behind us coming in to plant this crop. But pretty important to be able to size that residue and get it spread out evenly. We have the horsepower now to be able to do that, not sacrifice any machine performance. Another thing you'll see, we have the electronic counter knife control on the chopper. That allows us to control the amount of cut that we're putting in this crop. If we get to a real dry, brittle crop and we don't feel like we need to pulverize it all that much, we can drop those down to 50, 75%. It comes in handy in corn, because obviously in corn we're not chopping anything. And we can actually get in there and just disengage those things completely from the cab, and we never have to get out of the cab. So we have that ability to do those things. We can take that horsepower and use it somewhere else, and it gives us the ability to go in and have a fully versatile machine.
So the thing that I'm the most excited about with this combine is it's a Spirit of 26 with the USA 250 decals on the side of the combine, and that's not just a custom application. Case IH is actually offering red, white, and blue decals for the Axial-Flow combine, the Steiger, and the Magnum, all great American-made products. So is that something that people can order to decorate their tractors for this year and their combines?
Yep, so it is. So we actually, Case IH introduced that to us, and we knew we were going to have this big AF10 combine out. Like I said earlier in the video, it's our first combine we were able to have out and have our hands on to get in front of our customers. And it being the 250th birthday of America, we wanted to throw a little bit of something in there to make it extra special for our customers to see in the field and going down the road. This thing's an eye catcher. Thankful to Case IH for putting the marketing stuff together for us to be able to put these American flag stickers on this machine. But to answer your question, yes, there's actually kits that we can order, and we can take care of doing all the logistics to get the stuff ordered for you to put them on your machines. If you have interest in that, just contact your local Case IH dealer. All of our H&R AgriPower people will be more than happy to help you anytime.
Well, I hope to see some more American flag combines, Steigers, and Magnums.
I hope we can get a few more out. I hope to have a few more demos. Really makes it special. Really makes stuff pop. And like I said, happy birthday to America, and let's try to make it extra special.
So this combine has a lot of automation in it. What different features are important for making it all work and get a good sample in the bin?
Yep, so it still has all the sensors that we've had carried over from our flagship machine. We didn't really change a whole lot on the automation system. other than, you know, we can control the components that we've added to the big AF machine now. So I've got it set pretty sensitive because I always want to run a good demo for the customer so that they can see the machine adjust and actually see that the automation system is performing. So we're going to be controlling rotor speed. We control cleaning fan speed. Our rotor cage vanes, fully adjustable front to back, are a little bit different configuration in this machine than they were in our flagship 260 series. We now have 4 adjustable sieves. We have a top and bottom pre-sieve now that we can adjust, in addition to the rear top and bottom sieves. And we still do not adjust concaves, but hopefully that'll be coming in the future.
So you've got the unloading on the Go feature, which we can take a look as it starts here. You've got the screen that comes up and you can target where you're going to put your grain. I imagine that helps when you got a pretty full cart to fill every corner.
Yeah, it really does. So obviously we upgraded the unloading auger tube to a bigger diameter auger. We're unloading at about 6 bushels per second out of this cleaning system. Again, we're 567 bushel grain tank capacity, so it really does get the grain out in a hurry. Obviously with the unloading auger tube getting bigger, the spout is a lot bigger as well. We're actually running a 50-foot auger on this machine right now, but the unloading auger camera really does help get the grain in the center of the grain cart to be able to assist the grain cart operator in loading his grain cart evenly.
We can see it pouring right out of the bin here, and we've got a nice long reach between the header and the cart. And you've got a large boot there on the end, so that really helps keep all that flow in one place.
It's cool. Like I said, it has quite a bit of travel. We can mess with those settings in the monitor to be able to determine where we want that thing to start, where we want that thing to finish. A pretty cool feature that we have that was an industry exclusive for us for a long time is whenever we swing that unloading auger tube, you see that spout pivoting automatically up. There's a cup inside of that auger tube that shuts the grain off from being able to dribble out of the back of the auger. Case IH did extensive research on that technology when we first came out with that on our flagship series machines. That's actually, we equate that to right around 1.5 bushels to a 2 bushel loss per acre.
Oh, it makes a big difference. I mean, 25 years ago, I'd see the combines going and you just keep seeing the grain pour out the back end once it was back in place.
That's right. Everybody thinks it looks cool just kicking it straight out the back, but it actually does serve a purpose with that cup rotating to keep the grain in the auger tube.
And you have a clean out feature, so if the cart's full, you're able to empty the auger out. You don't have to have all that weight on it if you have to retract it before you empty the bin all the way.
We do, that's right. So right here, you see this button on our multifunction handle. It looks like an auger. That actually shuts off your cross augers in your grain tank, allowing you to clean out your auger tube. A couple of different reasons we want to do that. Obviously to be able to, not overload the grain cart is one functionality, but also that's a lot of weight to pack across the field in that auger tube. So whenever we can shut those cross augers off and clean that tube out going across the field, that saves a lot of weight and saves a lot of premature wear on all the unloading auger components on our AF10 combine.
This combine is equipped with the Case IH McDon FD245 header, and this as a decal I had not seen before is the FD245 Plus. What does that mean for what the header is capable of?
So the Plus actually, I call it a suspended cutter bar. We actually don't use that in wheat. We leave it locked up in wheat because we really don't run on the ground except when we have down wheat. Where it really comes into play is soybeans. In the rocky country of southwestern Kentucky, it's pretty awesome to be able to let the cutter bar down, and it actually floats on the ground a little bit better. So it's a little bit more forgiving where rocks are concerned, and then it also allows you to run a little bit later in the day. A couple of benefits from that: running a little bit later in the day, you can run a little bit less pressure on your cutter bar, so it prevents you from dragging up big piles and stuff to where the wheat or to where the tractor that comes behind you.
That makes a big difference. I was filming an AF9 last night at about almost 10 o'clock and was just out there chugging away, going through some wheat, and processing it well. So it's good to have that kind of a header that will let you run as long as you can, especially with the rainy season we've had in this harvest.
Yeah, no, it makes a big difference. And MacDon and Case IH have partnered to put to make together a really good pairing here. The 240 series we're extremely happy with. Obviously, you can see the 3-section reel here instead of the normal 2-section reel like you've seen here with us in the past. A few other features in that, MacDon is, along with their partnership agreement with Case IH, has integrated their Draper controls in here to our Pro 1200 monitor, where we can control things like all of our sensitivities and how fast we want things to happen. We can adjust the lateral belt speed in here, and everything you see on the Draper that we can adjust from the cab is now all in one place. We don't have to have an auxiliary box with any switches or anything like that. Cleans up the cab and makes for a very good end user experience.
Well, you sure get spoiled being able to just do everything with a touch of a button.
It makes it very nice to be able to go through and make adjustments when we need to, and not have to look 3 or 4 different places. Because as you can see, we're covering quite a bit of ground. We're pumping almost 2,000. We're pumping over 2,000 bushels per hour through this machine right now, and a lot of stuff's going in the machine. It's a lot to keep your eyes on. It's a lot to have to adjust. So the closer you have to those things, and the more simple we can make that process for our customers, the more efficient it's going to make the harvest, and they're going to be less tired at the end of the day because of all those things.
Oh, and it's nice you've got the auto steer here, so you're making those perfect passes across the field, and lets you keep an eye on the header. And I know some people might ask, I know there's a FD245 header now for 60-foot cut. You get a 50-foot. And here in Logan County, it's kind of rolling ground, and 45 feet is probably just about right for the conditions that you're harvesting here, because the ground is rolling. It kind of has these little creases. You don't want to dig into them.
You know, it really is. The 45 pairs really well with the AF9 and the AF10 machine. 50 foot, it's pretty far out there. So like you said, the gently rolling doesn't really look all that rolling, but when you get a 45 or a 50 foot Draper out here in the middle of the wheat field, you can see the very subtle undulations and stuff, and it makes it all the more important to have a very agile header that has a lot of flex to it, and that we can unlock and adapt to the different conditions that we have.
Well, thank you for the informative ride-along. It's always great to learn about these machines. It's impressive watching it on the outside, but it's great to learn about all the technology that makes it perform and bring the crop in.
It's always great to have you along, Jason. Definitely thank you for coming out today. Thank you for all you do for agriculture, to get, I guess a magnifying glass put on us so that people can see the cool stuff that we get to do every day. And you do a really good job of being an ambassador for the world of agriculture. So thank you for coming out and giving us some of your time today. And hopefully we can continue to do some more cool stuff in the future.
Thank you very much. I hope that you've enjoyed spending some time out in the field with and learning about this specially decaled USA 250 Spirit of 26 Case IH AF10 combine. I would like to hear in the comment section below this video if you use Axial-Flow combines on your farm. Tell me about the model that you're running and the crops that it harvests. If you have appreciated this presentation, I hope that you'll consider subscribing to Big Tractor Power YouTube, where there's over 3,000 videos of farm machines in action. As always, thank you for watching.